Hello, fellow Murdlers. Today is Saturday, July 20th, 2024, and it's a great day to solve a murder. Today we have the mysterious murder at the cruise ship on the Amazon, and we have 6 4x4 grids with suspects, motives, locations, and weapons. It's Saturday, so we have statements, 4 statements, 1 for each of our suspects, and we know that 3 of these must be true and 1 of these must be a lie. Whomever is lying is our murderer today, and that's how we'll crack the case. Alright, let's meet today's suspects. We have Lord Lavender, Dame Obsidian, General Coffee, and President Amaranth. The weapons today are a steak knife, the steering wheel, an ancient anchor, and a toxic blowfish. The locations today are the deck, the captain's quarters, the dining hall, and the boiler room. And finally, our motives today are to break into the industry, to silence a witness, to rage with jealousy, and to rob the victim. Alright, let's go ahead and dive into our clues and evidence. The steering wheel was discovered at the far end of the deck. Okay, so I guess we've got the steering wheel on the deck. Whoever was in the dining hall was left-handed. Let's look for our lefties here. Dame Obsidian. And just Dame Obsidian, so Dame Obsidian must have been in the dining hall. That will mean that Dame Obsidian did not have the steering wheel. Green eyes stared at a toxic blowfish. Green eyes, brown, and gray. So it's one of these two with the blowfish, so we can eliminate the other two with the blowfish. Dame Obsidian did not want to rob the victim. Okay, so we can mark that off as Dame Obsidian's as Dame Obsidian's motive, and do the same here for the dining hall. Let's see. General Coffee wanted to silence a witness. Okay, General Coffee, silence a witness. The person with an ancient anchor wanted to break into the industry. Okay, so we can do motives and weapons here. Breaking into the industry for the ancient anchor. Okay. And that will also tell us that General Coffee did not have the ancient anchor, because General Coffee wanted to silence a witness, and that is not the weapon for that motive. The person with a steak knife wanted to rage with jealousy. Okay, so we can put that here. And then that will tell us actually that General Coffee must have had the steering wheel, and therefore must have been on the deck. So we can fill this one out. Steering wheel, silence a witness. That means the blowfish was to rob the victim, which will also tell us that Dame Obsidian did not have the blowfish and that Lord Lavender did. But let's go back to General Coffee for a moment. So steering wheel, silence a witness, deck. So deck, silence a witness. Okay, so there's everything all filled out for General Coffee. We also have Lord Lavender with the toxic blowfish to rob the victim. And we don't yet know the location, except we know not the dining hall. Wait a minute. Why do we know not the dining hall? Oh, because we know Dame Obsidian was in the dining hall. So yeah, we can say Lord Lavender was not then, because Dame Obsidian was. Okay, yeah, I think that's all we have. That's a pretty good head start, I would say. So with that, let's go ahead and check out our statements. Okay, President Amaranth brought a steak knife. Possible. General Coffee was not in the boiler room. Okay, so this is true. So Dame Obsidian cannot be our liar today, so this one has to be true. And General Coffee is saying they're on the deck. That also has to be true. And let's see. The ancient anchor was not in the captain's quarters. We don't yet know where the ancient anchor was. So that's possible. So we know these two must be true. So we're looking at Lord Lavender and President Amaranth as our possible suspects here now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit save. And I'm going to go ahead and try to make Lord Lavender's statement false. So say that President Amaranth did not bring a steak knife and see how that kind of impacts the puzzle. So let's try that. I'm going to hit save one more time. So if President Amaranth did not bring a steak knife, that would mean that Dame Obsidian did, and that President Amaranth had the ancient anchor. We know that Dame Obsidian was in the dining hall, and we don't yet know Dame Obsidian's motive, right? But we do know now that President Amaranth's motive would be to break into the industry, which would give Dame Obsidian the motive to rage with jealousy, which seems to be working. And so then these two we know are true. If this is the lie, then this would have to be true as well. So then we would say the anchor was not in the captain's quarters, and therefore the blowfish was in the captain's quarters. Blowfish, captain's quarters, robbed the victim. And then ancient anchor, boiler room. Why am I having so much trouble with this? There we go. Ancient anchor, boiler room, break into the industry. All right, that all works. So I do believe it's Lord Lavender. So Lord Lavender with the toxic blowfish in the captain's quarters to rob the victim. Wasn't the victim like an alligator? Yeah, well, I don't know what you would steal from an alligator, but all right. Let's also say, so I'm pretty sure this is it. I'm gonna flip this over, but before we do check on this, let's go ahead. I'm gonna reset, and let's try to make President Amaranth's statement false and see how far we get with that. So let's see. That would mean that the ancient anchor was in the captain's quarters. So ancient anchor, captain's quarters. And that would mean that President Amaranth brought the steak knife. Again, we're taking this to be true and this to be false. So I put Dame Obsidian with, no, and that would not work because that would put Dame Obsidian in the captain's quarters, but we already know that Dame Obsidian was in the dining hall. So that's not going to work. So it was the first solution with Lord Lavender being the liar. So that was it. So let me just take another moment. I'll fill this back out. Okay, there's everything all filled out. And again, we have Lord Lavender with a toxic blowfish in the captain's quarters to rob the victim. Let's go ahead and see if we were right. All right, we were right. Thanks so much for playing along with me today. I hope this was a helpful walkthrough, and we'll see you tomorrow.